Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. You know, I thought I was actually going to start off with something lighter. I'm like, the hell with that. Let's just get this out the way. So, let's start with, you know what? Let's start with Rafe and Charlie. So, Rafe is interrogating Charlie, asking him, this woman that's tied up in your apartment. What can you tell me about that? Like, what's going on with that situation? And he's playing coy. He's acting like he doesn't understand what's going on. Like, oh, I wasn't there, and I don't know anything. And who is this woman? And at this point, little by little, Rafe is not there dropping more things like, all right, so we know that's your mother. So why did you kidnap your mother? And he's playing coy. He's all like, oh, I'm a good person. My bosses can attest to that. I never done anything wrong, yada, yada, yada. And at some point, it gets to um, Allie and the rape. And, he brings that up, and he brings up Trip. And he's like, well, you know what? Listen, you could possibly be his half brother, and maybe you did it. And this is when Charlie goes from trying to play coy, trying to play calm, cool, and collective to just like, no, Trip did it. He's the person. Who Allie suspected. She pointed the finger at him, so it must be him, and yada yada yada. And Rapist at this point, he's like, yo, listen, we can just set this right here now. We just do a little kit, a little DNA sample, and we'll compare it, and if you're free, if you didn't do anything wrong, you're free to go. So, I mean, everything should be good, right? I'll be right back. I'll be right back. And I was waiting the whole time for him at some point to sit there and say, lawyer. And right when Rafe was like, all right, I'm gonna bring out the kit, and we'll prove, we'll settle this whole matter. That's when Charlie was like, yeah, I want a lawyer. So honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm not gonna lie. He thinks that's gonna save him, but to be honest, it points more of a guilty finger towards him. But sure, whatever. Now let's move back a little bit. Allie, Allie and Nicole. I'm not gonna lie. Here's the thing. I actually did this. This is my second time because, let's be honest. We all know I don't like Allie, and I might actually went off a little harsh on her in my first. We'll call it bloopers. And so I'm trying to be more calm about the situation, but we'll see how that goes. So at some point, I don't remember exactly the dialogue, but at some point, Ali says something, and Nicole's like, "Wait, are you having second thoughts about Trip being your attacker?" And Ali talks about it, and Allie's like, I remember, seeing his face, and then I also remember somebody holding my head, my hand down or whatever. And she says something along the lines of, it, I'm gonna have two different sets of memories, and Trip, the whole time has been telling me that he didn't do it, and I didn't listen. I wasn't trying to hear him or anything like that. And I mean, of course, she tried explaining away by the DNA test and yada yada yada. But I was just like, this is exactly what I was talking about. And the thing that bothers me is, yes, I understand the DNA test came back, um, that it was him. So I am trying to put my anger aside because listen, they had the DNA evidence proving that it's him. So I mean, it is what it is. But at the same time, oh, actually, tell you the truth at this point, that's literally it. Um, I realized that I've been going really harsh on Allie. about this whole DNA evidence and, the fact that she was drunk and she couldn't really remember. But I think part of my initial anger was the fact that before we got the DNA test results, she was already sitting there saying that he did it. And I'm like, you're a drunk. And you just now remembered this. And also, let's just be honest, I don't really like Allie as a character in general. So this whole trials and tribulations, well, let's be honest, it really did not help my mood. But she starts to realize that maybe Trip didn't do it, and if this other person did it, she doesn't want Trip to sit there and pay any longer. And Nicole agrees, and honestly, tell you the truth, I'm like, ugh. I don't know. Throughout this whole time, Nicole also has just been irritating the living life out of me. But I'm trying to chalk it up aside because, again, DNA evidence. I'm trying to take a different approach. Let's just be very clear because I know I've been going extra hard on Allie, and looking back at it, to some extent, I probably have went too hard on her. Mostly because I just don't like her as a character. So I'm trying to calm it down a little bit. Anyway, long story short, they wind up going to the police station because Allie is like, listen, she got a call from John, but John is telling her wait, and she wants answers. She wants answers now. So her and Nicole go down there, and they talk to Rafe, and Rafe is like, listen, I can't do anything more because he wants a lawyer, and you're not going in there because Nicole's like, well, you need to go in there. You need to sit there and question. You need to Nicole, you need to shut the hell up. Like, seriously, just shut up. Like, because she has not been my favorite character throughout this whole mess. And hearing her come in there trying to bark orders, I'm like, no. Like, I'm sorry, sweetheart. What is your purpose on the show again? So they agree that, listen, we can't do anything. But you can go down there to talk to Ava since you and Ava were friends or whatever. You can go down there and try to help out. So Rafe and Nicole agreed to go to go see Ava, and Allie pretends like she's going back to Roman's place. I can't remember what the place is called again, but she pretends to go there. But then she lies and she goes into her interrogation room and she confronts Charlie. And she's like, listen, I'm not leaving until I get answers. So I guess we'll just wait and see about that. I'm actually kind of happy about myself. I'm actually proud of myself. Because I didn't lose it like I did on the last one, so that's great. Other side of town. This is Steve and Trip. So Steve pretty much tells Trip that, listen, you got a half brother, and his name is Charlie. And this is when Trip is like, yeah, I know Charlie, Claire's boyfriend. And he gets upset because he talks about this one incident where Trip is defending himself towards Claire. And Charlie gets up in his face and pretty much is acting all self-righteous. And the whole time it's him that's the sicko, okay? The POS, I like to sit there and say. And so at this point, he's tight. He's angry. He wants to go down to the police station. But, Steve talks him out of it. Then they get a call from Kayla. And Kayla goes, Steve and Trip goes down to... Yeah, Steve and Trip goes down to talk to Ava. Of course, she's sedated. So, Trip talks to Ava. And Kayla talks to Steve. While Trip is talking to Ava, well, at first, Ava's asleep. But then she wakes up and... she informs Trip that, yeah, I did lie about him, and you're the best part of me, and, Charlie's the worst part of me, and I'm like, pre-rape Charlie, or pre-rapey Charlie, damn. I mean, seriously, besides that, which is the worst thing you can do, to anyone ever. What did he do to Ava to get that much contempt? Like, I mean, I can understand why he turned out definitely a little weird, a little withdrawn, and just, his whole, like, how he dealt with Claire. I understand why he's the way he is. Um, Damn. So at some point, she starts to have a psychotic breakdown again, and she sees Charlie trying to stab um, Trip, and she starts yelling and screaming. And I'm not gonna lie, I laughed my ass off. I really did. The way Tamara Bay, or however you pronounce the name, the way she does these dramatic scenes, these over the top scenes. I know it's supposed to be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I'm just laughing my ass off. I'm like, yo, this is this is comedy gold right there. Can we have her do more of this? Because so far when she's been just off her damn rocker, it's been the bee's knees. Okay. Um so yeah, that happens. Now on the other side of the town, we got again I'm so happy that I did not actually put out that first review, because that one was bad. I mean, I was over the top on Allie. But let's be honest, I'm still not happy with her, because I'm just like, how are you going to sit there and apologize for practically shooting off his penis? Like, I don't think there's a card that you can get at CVS to just explain that. So I'm really waiting for this explanation. Um, but whatever. So we got Philip, we got Chloe, and we got Brady. And Chloe pretty much tells everything, that Philip has been laundering money for the mob and Ava and everything, and his life is in danger. And, she pretty much asked Brady to help. Now, of course, here's the little thing. Here's the thing. I haven't been watching the show that long. I don't know exactly fully what Brady's like, what he's capable of. I've called him a moron a couple of times for various reasons. But I don't really understand exactly what Brady can do as far as helping him get out of this whole situation. I don't see a way out. That's pretty much how I look at it. Anyway, Brady agrees to help on the condition that, Philip stays away from um, Chloe. And he agrees. He agrees. I mean, you can tell that the look in his face, he was like, yeah, I know it's best for her, but I mean, there's something that's still there, but he doesn't want her to get hurt, so it just makes sense. Of course, they did this while Chloe was taking a phone call, but then when she came back, she was like, okay, cool, yeah, I'm glad, we're on the same page. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, this is just, maybe it was just a little bit of a pet peeve, or just something that just seemed kind of. So in the beginning of this conversation, you know, Chloe was like, I get you guys always fighting or whatever, and you guys have fought over me and stuff, but I kind of really need you guys to work together. That's not what she said, but along those lines of fighting for me. And this isn't the first time she kind of just like dropped that line or that phrase before, and I'm just like, I don't I don't know how to feel about that. Okay, I mean, I get that's something. I don't know which way to take that. I don't know if to take that as in that's just like, wow, that's kind of. I can't tell if that's just vanity, a bit of cockiness, a bit of arrogance. I mean, don't get me wrong, this woman is just drop dead gorgeous. So, I mean, I feel like she could say that line and just get away with it, but I don't know. Maybe it just kind of just threw me off a little bit. Like, anyway, what else really happened? I just sit there and think, I don't know, maybe that line just kind of just, not bothered me, but it's like, why would you sit there and say that to those two? Like, I think that they would probably want to kind of forget about the fact that they were fighting over the same woman. Like, they wouldn't want to be reminded. So, like, why would she just bring that up for him? Anyway, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think really too much anything else happened except for Kayla talked to Ava. But Ava was still kind of out of it. And, she was just worried about Trip. And, of course, that's when Kata stuck her with a needle and put her ass to sleep because she needed it. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that happened. If anything else did happen, please let me know because I probably missed it. I really want to see this other woman that Philip was talking about. Because he was like he was gambling, and this woman, whatever her name is, that once again I kind of mysteriously forgot her name, got him back into gambling again, and he was on a low, and he just kept going and going and going, and I'm like, I want to know who is this woman that stole you away from her. I want to see what this woman looks like. I just really do. Because I'm going to have my opinions on that. Anyway, I can't really think of anything else that happened. I don't think anything too much else really did happen. And yes, with that being said, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe. I'm actually going to sit here and try to get some sleep early. So that way I don't wake up around 12:30 to go get breakfast. And sometimes it's like I get off of work and I'm just ranting at this point, so you can probably stop watching if it's not just about the review. Anyway, usually when I have the day off, I get so excited because I'm like, cool, I can just wake up early, I can get some breakfast, I can be ready to watch days, and I can do my review like, I don't know, 10 minutes after to make sure I kind of got all my notes in order. And that just somehow doesn't happen because I like to catch up on sleep, which you really can't, but yet I do. That sleep wants to wake my ass up at 12:20 in the afternoon. So my reviews is pushed back to like 2 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But I really feel determined. Also, I got more subscribers. So I don't know if this is the soap opera subscribers, but I'm really energized and excited because I love doing this. Okay, I'm ranting more. I love doing this. I'm always watching these soap operas anyway, especially back in high school. I used to watch what I call it the big three: Port Charles, One Life to Live, and General Hospital. So I've always watched it, and I know somebody told me that at least one of the writers writes for days, and I loved One Life to Live at one point. And this show, it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. So I love doing this anyway as far as like watching it. So I definitely love talking about it, and it's really nice. And I guess kind of surprising still that people like watching the videos and hearing what I got to say, and because I mean I personally. Before I started doing that, I would watch Brock TV's reviews, mostly on GH. But it's nice to kind of just hear what he has to say and kind of just ponder over my head and be like, I didn't think of that. Okay, what about this? What about that? So, I don't know. I enjoy what I'm doing, and I'm glad that people like watching and subscribe and stuff like that. So, thank you so much. And now I ranted like 4 extra minutes long, so I'm sorry for keeping people. Be safe. I will catch everyone in the next review.